Save it for the booth. Conversations from a stoop. Let me introduce the host. They came to speak their truth. We all bringing heat. Ain't talk about no propane. First host is pure dope. That's why we call it cocaine. Next up is Punk. He gon' give you what you want. He don't stunt like a pack of Dutchess. He gon' keep it blunt. Sugar Montana. She hot as Louisiana. And she hold no punches. So please excuse the manners. We got big homie Suave. He pretty chill. When it come to the topics 100, he keep it real. The show get you in tune, the flow get you enthused. Producer of the pod, that's why they call me Deuce.
Nikki's of Beverly.
Yeah, I hate it.
You hate it?
Yes,
why? They have
hate
a full, not a full, but they got like a whole vegan menu and then the regular menu.
Okay,
but I only get their chicken. I'm not either. But I've tried a lot of their vegan stuff, but I usually get their chicken gyros, right? It's like the best thing ever to me. What?
Nothing.
So, the meat is like shaved, just like the regular gyro. So I pre-ordered it before I got off work, so like I'm already just ready and knowing it's finna go down.
Mm-hmm.
So I pick it up, I drive home. It's about to go. And I'm like unraveling the bag and the foil,
ready to eat.
And it was like a chunky chicken, like Philly. It wasn't shaved meat, basically. You know how they give, like, you know how you chop up chicken?
Yeah.
That's how
like
it was.
It was like a Philly chicken?
But it was on pita.
And it was on pita.
Uh-huh.
And I was so mad. I was so mad. And I'm like, I live like 15 minutes from this place. And I'm like, nope. So I drove all the way back there. Yeah. Because I was like, I'm not going to eat it. And I'm not about to waste $15.
That's some fat shit.
I would have
did you not hear me say
too.
I was hungry?
Taste with something, I'm going back for it.
My mind, my stomach, I was like looking forward to that. So I did. I drove back and I was talking to the guy and I'm like, y'all gave me a chicken Philly on pita. And he's like, no, we gave you the right thing. And he started pointing to the meat behind him. And I'm like, is that new? And he like, yeah. So they switched the meat, basically.
Yeah,
and he was like, it's supposed to be like shawarma.
Okay, yeah.
And he's like, did you try it? And I'm like, no, because
it wasn't
this ain't what I want.
My meat ain't look right, so no, I don't want this.
It was too chunky.
My meat was too chunky.
I was gonna say the other. It was though. Like I don't really like chunky meat. I don't. It's just
thin slice.
I like my meat chunky.
I can't. I don't like any big like.
What meat we talking about here, guys?
We were talking about food. You need to refocus.
Okay,
Anyways, I'm just saying, you be real hungry, so I had to go back. I ain't even getting me nothing though.
So you didn't eat anything.
So I'm still hungry. HONGRY.
You didn't eat?
No. Oh my God. Cause that's all I wanted. I didn't want anything else.
So what I hear, guys, is her creating excuses, but we gonna let you live today, okay? You angry?
Hands.
I'm not touching her. I'm not
An
touching
excuse
her.
for what?
Too close.
Huh?
An excuse for what?
Nothing. You know how you be coming in here like, I haven't slept. I don't have any energy.
I'm here. Am I not? Because y'all already know I'm showing that I am.
You here?
Missing this.
Is your energy here?
But yesterday was so cool with me and Punk. Like we got
was.
along. I could tell he missed me and all that. And it just went
with.
away.
That's over with now.
And now it's a new day, and we back onto the same thing again.
Yeah,
I need to go absent.
Did you bask in that for you had 24 hours?
I did because when I talked about it, and they were asking me like, "Well, how was the pod?" I was like, you know what? It was really nice.
I feel like we turned a corner.
I felt like things have matured since I've been
It was some
gone.
reconciliation.
Back on the block.
Clearly.
Oh,
Anyway,
but let's get into
that
it.
that was my story.
What episode is this?
18.
18. It might be 9. I don't know. It might be 19.
It might be 19.
It might be motherfucking we don't know. We will figure it out.
So how was your day besides the
That was my day. That was my
meat?
day because by the time I got back from the restaurant, it was time for me. Like, I literally got off work, went to pick it up, got home, thought I was going to eat, left, took it back, came back, and he had to come here. So that was like my day, And now I'm just,
You could be anywhere in the world.
vibing right now.
I
Trying to
heard
get into
that.
it.
Let's vibe.
How was your day, Punk?
Restless.
And why is that?
I was just out too late. Then got woke up by a kid too early.
A kid, your kid.
Yeah,
One of 'em.
One of them. So a kid woke me up too early, so I've been up.
Partying like it's 1999.
There's no other way to
Party
do it.
animal.
And we have a guest here,
Yes. Hi, guys. I'm Shay.
Shay.
Yes.
I was wondering what the podcast name was gonna be.
We're going to go with that.
We're gonna go with Shay. That sounds
Yeah.
So you
great.
gotta give a little introduction. You the guest. You here? How you feeling today?
I feel good. I'm a little hungover, too, though. I did a podcast last night.
Hey,
with
we
my-
working.
You said you did a podcast.
Yes.
What's the name of that?
It's Let's Talk About It. It's on YouTube, guys.
Hey, shameless plug. No, we all
Shameless
about it.
plug,
We all
yes.
about it. We all
Let's
about
talk
it.
about it.
But, yeah, a little hungover, but I'm ready to get into this topic.
Let's go.
All right, let's get into it.
Coke Killer. Come
Oh,
on with it.
it's me. I'm starting the topic. I should have hit this up.
Are we starting with the
Are we gonna start with
forgiveness?
We
or
can
are
start,
We
with,
can start with that.
Wherever y'all want to start.
We can start with that because we kind of left off on that yesterday a little bit. At least in thought we did.
No, I'm down for whatever.
You just want to go.
I'm just ready to
Well,
go.
then
He
kick it
always like that.
off.
Let's get it.
It was our lovely Miss Z, you know, from the last
Shout out,
pod.
Miss Z.
Shout out Miss Z. She had a topic of forgiveness versus reconciliation. So since I know cocaine has researched what each
Why
one
do you
means,
always come over here to me?
because you just said you did it. So
I didn't even
we
research
gon-
both of them. I had to look at what the difference was.
Well,
I actually had to look up the
let's-
definition of reconciliation.
So get into it. Can you explain that for the people so we can know the
Webster-
differences?
Webster can.
Yeah, let's get into the verbatim.
Yeah, let's get the real definition. So when we jump off the rails,
We can reel it back in.
So I really, I looked up reconcile
hmm
because that was what happened.
I mean, I think we all pretty much know what forgiveness means. You know, somebody do something to you, you forgive them. Don't hold.
You can't
shit.
define a word with the same word.
Bing.
You forgive them. Don't hold that against them. What they did.
So reconcile is to restore to friendship or harmony, to make consistent.
Okay.
So that's that.
So in layman's terms, we like to really think about how if it's like a broken relationship, friendship, whatever, then you know when two people reconcile, that's means coming back together to make it right.
Yeah.
To that same spot that you were before.
That you were before.
Okay. I like it.
It's either the same spot you were before, or without the bullshit that caused the separation.
Okay, all right. You added too much shit.
Oh, I mean, who wants to reconcile and still have the bullshit that was already done? I would hope, you know. But that's where the forgiveness
ahead.
come in. So we
Okay,
gon-
do we got
we
a
could- we could
forgiveness
come with
Yeah,
definitions first before
the
I
act
get
of
into that.
forgiving.
Oh, so you were right.
You know,
I can admit when I'm wrong.
Gosh.
I know.
Well, I didn't. You know, I wasn't even listening to what you said about reconciling something.
I was saying that's typically what we look at as like in any relationship, friendship, when two people have an issue and they end up not talking, communicating, or being in that same space that they were in. And then when you reconcile, that's to come back together.
Does
Can I give one more definition of forgiveness?
Of course.
Stop feeling angry or resentful for an offense towards someone. For
I
an
like
offense.
that.
Okay.
Webster did that, not me.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, that was Miriam. I didn't.
Okay.
Where'd you
All I know
Where'd
is
you
their
find that at?
dictionaries.
The Googles.
The Googles. Hey,
I did
Google is-
forgive, not forgiveness.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I was gonna ask a question. Can you come to a place of, reconciliation without conversation about whatever it was that brought that?
Well, I kind of felt like I was going to say, can you have reconciliation without forgiveness?
I think you can, though. You don't have to forgive to reconcile.
So don't you think
I
you'll
agree.
still have those issues without
I think
that
you will.
forgiveness?
Some people just want to restore the relationship, but they don't care about the forgiveness part. Forgiving to me sometimes don't mean reconciling. It just meaning I forgive you to let it go.
Right, absolutely. But if I don't forgive you, how can I reconcile with you? Because I still have that issue. I'm still feeling some way about that. I haven't forgiven you. So I'm going to hold that grudge, that pain, that grief, whatever it calls me. I'm still holding on to that because I haven't forgave you. So if we reconcile, is that going to cause an issue again because I have these feelings?
Yeah.
So should we forgive before reconciliation?
We should, but that's not
it don't
always what happens.
Unfortunately, that is the unfortunate thing. But do we think it needs to happen?
The forgiveness part? I think it should.
But it don't need to.
I think it depends on whatever it is whatever the issue is. What's the reason why we need to reconcile? What's the reason why, forgiveness is necessary if you're trying to restore a friendship?
Why is forgiveness necessary?
I'm saying the reason. So whatever the reason is that we even need to reconcile, whatever the reason is that I need to forgive you or you need to forgive me, what's the reason behind that? Because when I ask, do you need to have a conversation with someone in order to reconcile a situation? Let's just say two people that aren't speaking, you know what I'm saying? And there is really no underlying reason why. But they manage to just reconcile and, just come back together as if nothing's ever happened. Can that happen without having a conversation?
I think
but
absolutely
maybe
not.
forgiveness maybe forgiveness isn't even necessary. And I'm only saying that because I guess I'm speaking from a more personal place, and that's probably why there's gaps in between this what I'm saying. So y'all probably wouldn't understand what I'm even saying. But if for whatever the reason is, nobody did anything wrong. It was just a decision or a choice that was made that had absolutely nothing to do with the other person. You know what I'm saying?
So who made the decision or choice?
I think both of them did. Anyways, let's carry on, guys. Carry on. carry on with y'all. Yeah.
I think a conversation needs to be had.
I do
because
too.
It may seem like everything's fine. You all may talk and like everything's fine, but someone, if not both of you all, are still thinking about why did this person just stop talking to me for however long it was, and then come back like everything is okay. Then it also matters what was the reason that that they started talking again. Like all of that matters. So to not have a conversation, someone may still feel like.
And if some person feels that way, then some person needs to have a conversation about it.
But the conversation needs to happen.
Sure. Okay.
Because you don't know who feels any type of way.
In my opinion, from speaking just from that situation in general, I personally wouldn't need a conversation.
So you think people can stop talking to you?
I know what direction she's talking about. Like sometimes you can have an issue
because some things just don't have nothing to do with the other person.
Don't have to happen. Like it could be something that I took wrong. Like let's say we had an issue, but I took it wrong, right? And instead of talking to her about it, I kind of was realistic with myself. Like, you went too far, you did too much. And then come back to it, not having a conversation with her, but we just became cool. You know what I mean?
Because if you think if you feel like you didn't do anything wrong to me, you have no reason you shouldn't feel any type of way about it. You know what I'm saying? Again, how I feel has nothing to do with you, Shay. Nothing at all. It's personal about me. But if you feel like a conversation is warranted and you want to have one, you are more than welcome to come and have that conversation with me.
You say it's up to them to initiate that.
If that's how they feel.
Right.
Because if the shoe was on the other foot.
Because everybody don't operate the same way.
Sometimes things just are more personal. It's not always about the other person.
Yeah.
And you should know this a lot because because you know exactly what I'm talking about. There are times when people take things and go through things and they decide to just shut themselves out away from everybody. And when you know that your person or your friend or whoever it is, they kind of understand that. Yeah. They know, like, you know what? This is who they are. So let me not take this personal because I know that this has nothing to do with me.
Yeah, because I have a friend like that. I'm sorry, Punk. But like instead of but instead
I
of
ain't
like
spoke yet. Don't
somebody
be-
who's not like
don't
big
be
on
too
confrontation, not big on confrontation. So knowing that she has something, like she said, that was within her that bothered her, and instead of talking about it and bringing it back to you like this is how I took it or this was me, she just went back and then came back when she was ready to talk about it. She just stepped away for a little
Who
while.
does that more, men or women?
Wait,
think
before
women.
we even get into
I think
that,
women.
Women.
Yeah,
For one, I think men don't really communicate, or men don't really have conversations like that with each other. Like y'all take
Bullshit.
stuff on the chin and like
Yeah.
keep it moving.
'Cause it's an ego
women,
thing.
yeah, women, we oftentimes want to discuss things, or we want to talk about it. We want
But
to
y'all
feel
want us
this.
to come to y'all.
But that's a different form. That's a different form of relationship, though. That's a different type of relationship, though. With friends, it's different, especially with women. It's just different. We feel like everything needs to be talked about most
Yeah.
of the time.
We're gonna put it on the table.
Except
Yeah,
for
and I've been
except
told
for
like
if nobody know that they had an issue, then we feel like we don't
But
need to put it on
sometimes,
the
like
table.
I'm saying, it depends. Like if I know something bothered me, but that's just because it bothers me. Certain stuff just bother me. I'm that type of person that instead of talking to you about it, it's me. I'm the issue.
exactly.
You
But
just
that-
bother me, so I'm gonna take a step back and like, okay,
You
let me
gotta
go
figure
back,
some
let
stuff
me go in my little
out.
circle, then I'll come back when I'm ready.
But
Exactly.
That's still a conversation that should be had, because how many
picky.
times do I allow you to walk away from me for however long that you're in your own head and come back to me without having a conversation or saying, hey, I had this stuff going on. You don't have to explain the stuff.
But that depends on the
even-
individual.
Even to say,
Absolutely.
I had this going on, I just needed a second to myself, but I'm back now, it wasn't you. I just had my own shit going on. That's still a conversation that should be had, because I'm not going to allow you to walk away whenever you feel like it, for however long you feel like it, and just come back and we don't have to talk about that. No, that's not okay. And if the person is your friend or your loved one, you shouldn't even feel like that's okay.
I agree. So if this person, and since that's how the situation is, if you were concerned about it, you could have said something too. It always takes two. But as well as men have egos, women have egos, women have pride too. Regardless of how or when the person decided to not text or call or respond to a call or whatever the case may be, if you really felt that there was an issue, you're
reached
your
out.
friend. You're my friend. So Shay, I expect for you to be like, what's up?
Is everything okay?
Like, are you okay?
How
What's
many
going on?
times?
And that's what I'm
How
saying.
many times?
It depends on the individual. It does depend on the individual.
Hold
'Cause I swear
on.
they just want us to just
Hold
like,
on.
please talk to me.
If you're
No.
Please be my friend.
But that's the-
Well, I'm gonna say this. In my situation, Punk, and I'll let you go. In my situation, I'm never a person that does that.
Yeah, but we speaking generally.
I know, but Punk and I, we are sharing communications right here, underlining of what we're all talking about.
Yeah.
But
I feel
in
that.
my situation, me personally, I'm a person that wants to talk about things. I always feel like you don't get to do this. You're gonna talk to me. And I will go and I will have a conversation with this person. So you're asking how many times, like Shay said, it depends on the individual. Because if this is a repetitive state or repetitive like actions that this person or behavior that this
Then it
person is
becomes a
consistently
problem.
showing, I think that, yeah, it becomes a problem and a conversation should be had, because I'm going to be like, hey, now, what are we doing?
But just like we need to know you need to know us. So you need to know that, hey, if this is the type of person that they very serious, they don't got many friends, and if you in my circle, we rock, and we gonna tell each other anything or whatever. If we
I
get
don't
that
fuck with a lot of
connection,
people.
exactly. So if we get that connection, I'm that type of person.
So if you and Punk have that going on.
you should adjust.
We talk about
You
it.
should adjust some too.
Oh, I agree.
But
I agree.
you just said if you that type of person. So we speaking to the person that is that type of person. So
Yeah.
you learn people behaviors. So like I said, the friend that
Punk
I
don't
have
believe
like
in
that,
that.
I know her behavior. So if I know that she's a person that doesn't like confrontation and she goes into shell, then I know I'm not gonna push you too much, and I'll let you come back when you're ready to discuss it. Or if you're not ready to discuss it, just if you come back and we basically mutually understand what the situation was.
Yeah.
But we don't. So here, if we stop talking, because you got your whatever going on. You can't feel like you should have reached out to me. If I didn't do anything and you just stopped talking to me, why am I reaching out to you to say, hey, why you stop talking to me? Then that gives the impression of like I'm feeling guilty for doing something when I know I didn't.
I don't think
And-
that's the case.
And if you know it's just you and your own whatever and you had to take a step back, why wouldn't there be a conversation that, hey, nah, you didn't do nothing. I just had to take a step back, but I'm good, whatever. And then we can reconcile from there. But to just come back and pop back up like shit happened after you just ain't talked to me for however long, I'm not going to keep repeating that cycle.
I don't
and
think-
that's not okay to do.
I think
for
if
no person.
if that's a situation that is continuously happening, I agree with you.
But if it happens once, it should be addressed the first time so that
And
it
it
don't
can
keep
be. And it
so that's
can be
why I'm
because-
saying it should be a conversation.
That's fine. And as Shay said, I do think it depends on the person. I personally don't feel like there needs to be a conversation that should be had. That's just my opinion.
Okay.
I am okay with that.
So you say no conversation. Punk, you say
Depending on
conversation.
situation.
the situation though. And I'm only speaking again as an individual.
Everything depends
like,
on the situation.
You know what I'm saying?
So
It does.
We're just talking generally. So no
generally-
conversation.
Generally speaking,
Yeah. Yay or nay?
I'm in the middle.
So
hell no.
It's
We
hard
ain't
for
having.
me. It's hard for me
See,
to say
so watch this.
yes
Watch
because if it's
Hold
a
on.
situation with somebody like a man that I'm in a relationship
Nah,
with,
matter.
Nah, yeah,
Nah, it matter
no,
if
we
it's a
talking
man.
generally. We
Nah, it
talking
matter if it's a
generally.
man.
It don't got to be a
if
man
a
or
nigga
woman.
just stop
It
talking
just
to
is
you
what
for
it
no
is.
apparent reason for 2-3 months
I'm
and then
gonna.
pop back
If
up
he
like
stop talking
everything
to
cool.
me for
We
a
don't
week,
need to have a conversation because it's done.
if you stop talking to me like that,
But if
That's
it's your friend,
ghosting.
if it's your, you just
Wait.
ghosted your friend. It's the same shit.
wait.
The-
I'm saying so.
It's
If
the
I'm rocking
same
with a
shit.
dude, if I'm rocking with a dude for like a year, right?
And you rocking with your
And
friend for
wait,
15.
Pause. If I'm rocking with this dude for a year, right, and he decides to, his behavior changes, the pattern changes, he ain't speaking to me, say like 2 days go by. If he don't text me, right, I don't hear from him in 2 days, I'm going to reach out to him.
Right.
I'm going to reach out to him and be like, hey,
It took
everything
you 2
cool?
days.
Are
It
you
took you
good?
2 days to reach out to him.
no, that's why I'm saying,
Okay.
like, if I let it build up or whatever it is, I'm going to be concerned and worried, like, what's going on?
So a
'Cause this
nigga
is
get a
not-
year, but your friend that you might have been friends with for longer than that, it's been 2 days. You not reaching out.
But that what you and I are talking about is something different. So
I'm
yes,
not talking
Shay,
about
if
anything
you
specifically. I'm just saying, if I had a friend,
if the situation happens and you dipped on me, yes, I would reach out to you. I would at least be like, yo, you good? Like, what's up?
Right.
I would, because I know that that's not your normal behavior. Now, again, when Deuce was saying how many times do you let it happen before you do whatever, if I know that this is like a normal pattern of yours, I'm not worried or concerned
Right.
because
yeah, I need
you're
a
gone.
drink.
I'm not.
Okay,
I'm not.
you agree? So
I'm not
I do.
concerned.
we got two.
But I am gonna be.
Go
I
ahead.
am that friend. Sorry, that will reach out. So like
Me
she said,
too.
I'm not that person that if something bother me, I speak on it. Whether it's man, woman, cat, or dog, I don't give a damn what you are. I'm gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
I heard
But
that.
I do have some friends that I know do it. But my guy, I'm reaching out. I'm sorry. Like
Mm-hmm.
but to a couple months, you
a
definitely
couple
ghosted me.
months,
We don't
it's
need to have
LVA.
no conversation. We done.
Yeah.
What's
For sure.
the difference in your friend doing that? They didn't just ghost you?
We didn't say she went missing for months though.
Yes, I did. I said if it's been months or however long, y'all just said a nigga can't ghost you for a week, 2 days, but your friend can ghost you for months and it's okay. We don't need a conversation. I'ma just pop back up like everything okay. How does that work?
But we
People
also
are
said
people.
it depended on the
Right.
situation.
All right, we beating the dead horse here. Though.
No, so do it depend on the situation with the guy?
I mean, if he had a serious like issue, like let's say I ain't got in contact with him or whatever, maybe went to jail. I mean, it's still over because I don't deal with people in jail.
So it don't matter. Because it sound like
it's
there's no
over because that's a
situation.
different type
Okay.
of situation.
It sound like it's no situation where it's gonna be
We
okay.
ain't rocking with you if you getting locked up. You out here, depending on what he went to jail for, though. Maybe,
Right,
maybe
right,
you
right.
know.
Yeah, maybe
It's
he
me,
maybe he
it's
ain't
me.
do it.
Whatever.
He could.
Talking about maybe he ain't do
He
it.
probably didn't do it. You know
Right.
the system.
Maybe different
Shit.
situation. Maybe different.
Different strokes for different folks, man. That's just how it is.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's pull up that other.
I got you. I'm about to pull
Don't
it up
start,
now.
Punk. Don't start.
Ain't nobody paying him no attention because.
Go ahead, pour your drink.
I'm drinking that straight out the bottle. It's mixed. It'll be all right.
Oh, you got that in there already?
Don't worry about
Hey, cool your jets.
You got the motherfuckers fired
I
up now with these
know.
shenanigans.
Good.
you
I'm
talking.
glad she's back. Hello.
Took her long enough. Y'all are some real sexist people. In
We
here.
not.
That's
Okay.
a different relationship. You cannot compare a romantic relationship the same way that you compare a friend, like two female friends. You cannot say that
I
that's the
agree.
same
I
as
agree.
with your
Yeah,
mate.
it ain't the same.
It's not the same.
You
and
know, it ain't.
It's
you can't-
not.
You know, it's different.
It doesn't have anything to do with being sexist at all. It just is what it is.
Not this time.
Thank you.
All right, guys. So
Punk don't
I
agree,
was
but
at
whatever.
work, and shout out to my team because I'm gonna send them this
Yeah,
pod.
shout them out. We
Shout
know
out
they
to my
listening.
team, Momo. He questioned. He always coming into the office making like just being super random. So this is like a 3-part question, and I was listening to it, y'all, and I was like, I'm gonna send this to my pod folks to my family, because I would really like to know what these men think about this, what my guys think about this, right? So this is one for you too,
Glad I'm not
big
on
big
camera.
big homie or
I ain't Big Homie.
Punk.
Shout out, Big
Shout
Homie,
out
though.
Big
Shout out Big
Homie. You
Homie.
see,
We
I'm saying
miss
Big
you,
Homie.
Big
He ain't in
and
the
sugar.
building. Montana says she'll be back the next one.
So she
All right.
claims.
Outside of the spiritual aspect or anything related to being spiritual, what is the benefit or incentive of being married?
So not including
spirituality.
Okay.
What is the benefit or incentive of being spiritual? So what he was saying is, what can you do? What is the difference? You know, what can you
What are you gaining
add?
from it?
Yeah, while being married that you can't get while just being with someone aside from the spiritual aspect of things.
Punk.
Now I
Half.
was completely shut off from this conversation.
Ooh. Why
Half.
they shut you up?
No, I didn't have a response to it because I was like, when I think about being married, like the first thing is like
The spiritual
spirituality. Yeah, you know.
Because a lot of people
But
do
a lot
the
of
married
things
shit
come with that.
with the spiritual
Yeah.
part.
I'm not. Look, I agree with Punk when he said half, right? But I'm not gonna go in that direction. I was dating somebody, so I guess I got a story time too, right?
Story time.
Right.
I
and,
think the story time from the first guest.
Oh, hey. Woo,
Right.
woo,
Story
woo,
time,
woo.
right? But he wasn't big on the marriage thing, and my biggest thing was like I can't spend majority of my life just in a relationship with somebody, and I don't have a decision in the end. So it wasn't the money for me. But I'm not like we all seen movies where somebody was in a relationship for a majority of their life, and then that person passed on, and they can't make a choice for that person. That will be hard for me.
Yeah.
Like I need to be able to, have some type of say spending my life with that person.
what
So
a
that would be
great-
the biggest one for me.
That was
What a
good.
great
Absolutely,
answer.
absolutely.
What
I can't
a
wait to bring that back to work,
great
girl. Thank you.
answer.
No
Yes.
problem.
I
Good.
have a rebuttal for that.
Go ahead.
Of course you
It's
do.
still very possible that even while married,
Somebody actually mentioned that, but go ahead. Sorry.
you
Go
done?
ahead, Punk.
You sure? Okay. So, even with being married, you can still write it up to give someone
You said we're not
else.
being married. Without being
Without
married.
being married?
No, with being married,
Uh-huh.
you can write it up to give the decision to someone else if something happens to you. Like you can put that in your stuff. So if they're in the hospital, they could still make that decision, their kids or something else. So just
They
being
could,
married,
but that's still not a rebuttal to what she's saying.
I'm saying that's it don't necessarily mean you'll have that decision. I don't think a lot of people do that per
Without
se.
marriage, you don't get the decision
have
at
the
all.
decision at all.
But that's
What
that's the
she
point
was
she's
saying.
making,
Yeah,
and
you
that's
don't
why
have
it's
that-
a good
you
point.
don't have that say at all. Like right now, me not being married, I have a kid, so I was having this conversation with somebody, and it was like I need to make sure I have it written in stone, like who gets to make that decision. Because I know a young lady that I went to high school with recently. She caught COVID. and some people don't take it serious, but she was unconscious for a couple months. And she literally woke up on her birthday. So her mother had to make a choice, like, should I pull the plug or not? And thank God her mom didn't, because she woke up. But let's say somebody else got to make that type of decision for you and you're now gone. Like, so that's a huge deal for me. A huge deal for me.
I'm feeling
So I'm
Because
not
you
spending
would
the
have
rest of my
wanted
life.
to be the person to make that decision.
Yes. If we sharing the cause,
Who you want making that decision?
Yeah.
I'm making that decision.
No, if you unconscious and
I've
you in
already
a
made that
coma.
decision.
What do you
That
mean?
decision's been made. I've
So,
already
but what
do
if
you
your
mean?
wife
I
decision is different from yours?
She can't make a different decision than me. I've already expressed if I get to a certain state, pull the plug, period. I don't care how you feel, how no other person feel, that decision is made. It's nobody
So
else.
you say you have a DNR in place?
Yes.
Okay.
For certain situations, yeah. If it's that drastic where, you know, like I've been whatever for months, I want the plug pulled. I don't want anybody suffering watching me in kind of a vegetative state. You know what I'm saying? Not that I couldn't come back, but I would rather the plug be pulled. I've expressed that to everyone. So that decision is made
And
already.
that's fine.
Yeah,
You
that's a different
expressed that. It's a
conversation,
different
though.
conversation. You have already expressed that to her, and she understands that. But I'm saying, like, for that couple who is not married and she doesn't have a choice at all.
And most people don't. You know, we talking generally.
Right. And
Most people don't go get all the paperwork. Hey,
Right.
you know.
In our community, not at all.
Right. So
And
I
guessing,
get that.
I'm guessing the reason why I'm looking at it different because it wouldn't matter if we was married or not. You know,
Right.
But
I
the
made that
question,
decision.
can we get back to the question? though?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
yeah. What
What is the benefit or incentive of being married? Like, aside from
Besides the
something
spiritual?
spiritual, yeah. Like, what can you do while being married that you can't do while not being married? Aside from
have
expound,
Yeah, expound on
on that.
if you get divorced or if the person dies or whatever, you get there, whatever you're supposed
But you
to
could
get.
do a
what's in the-
prenup or no?
You could do a prenup.
Right.
So essentially, that's all that's to it. Because people go a long time just in relationships. People have kids outside of marriage.
Sure.
People live together outside of marriage. People vacation. People start businesses. People do everything that people do in a marriage with people when they're not married.
So would you say the reason why you got married was because of the
To
spiritual?
do it right under God. That's the
Okay.
reason why I got married.
Okay.
I could have cared less about all the other shit. We was living together, paying bills together, making plans. We was doing all that before we got married. The only thing to do was make it right under God. It wasn't like something was gonna change. I'm not saying marriage don't change things or people, but those things would have changed at some point anyway, I feel, because as you've been together longer and know each other more and changes start, things are gonna change. But for me, I don't think you really gain anything besides a name or to be able to say, this is my husband, this is my wife, the title of it, and the spiritual aspect. And if somebody decides to walk away, somebody may or may not get alimony or have. Y'all just connecting y'all bills and y'all debts and all that shit together as one.
How do you feel about so when you and your wife, and not to be in your business, so let me just make this very general for everybody. When you get married, do you guys automatically like join accounts?
No.
How do you feel about that, Shay?
No. I wouldn't mind having a account that we do put certain stuff in it, like for vacations or something special, but like a separate one. But I'm definitely keeping my own account separate.
Do
It's
it.
okay to have a joint account.
Separate.
Separate? Okay.
It's
Yeah.
okay to have a joint
Because
account.
it just depends. Like, I don't know. I'm sorry. Pon.
It's okay to have a joint account. Like, we have a joint account, you know,
Girl, stop apologizing.
but we still, I mean, y'all keep cutting me off. I'm trying to
That's
be
what
polite
we
today.
do in the pod.
I'm glad you're saying
we definitely
that.
doing it, but
Make
you
sure
cut me
you
off
make
all
that
the
in the
time.
Make sure you make a clip of that.
He cut me
But-
off all the time.
No, like, we have a joint account, but it's not like we closed our separate accounts, because one, you might want to do something for me or something that you don't want me knowing about. But if I'm looking at the joint account, you taking money out of it, now I got questions or whatever. So it's okay to have your separate accounts, but it's okay to have a joint account if y'all got, like you said, vacations, or we trying to save up to buy whatever,
Right.
get some work done on the house, or we know, okay, we putting money in here because we don't touch that. This is what this is for. You got your personal account, I got mine, that we can do all our regular shit out of.
Yeah, I agree. I would definitely have my own account for sure. And yeah, we can have an account together where we just add money to for whatever it is we're gonna add money to it for.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, yeah,
We ain't arguing.
Is that more of a modern perspective?
You gotta ask somebody that's
Traditional?
very traditional.
I don't-
Punk is the most traditional person that's in this booth right now. So
You don't even know Shay. Don't be trying to do that. I don't know if
I
that's...
can obviously listen to her the way she responds to things. So
I don't know if that's more modern or traditional. I was taught to have I actually got like 6 or 7
money
bank
in the
accounts
bank.
because
Oh wait, we not on site to that because I was just about to go. Tell me what you.
I mean, I personally got like 6 or 7 bank accounts, but that was some shit my mom always did. Like she had multiple bank accounts.
You on your yay shit.
So
You got money everywhere. Sure.
I mean, it's just a.
You on your yay
I know
shit.
I take money out of this account for this. I take money out of that account for that. If I need money for whatever, I go to this account. And that was just kind of a way to not
Organize
fuck up.
your- yeah,
to
you
organize it.
yeah.
I don't want to mess up this money because this for bills.
Right.
So I got an account where, whatever, if I blow this account, I ain't really mad because it ain't fucking up nothing else. But again, we still got our joint account because I do feel, I guess in a traditional sense, like at some point I want us to put the money in there to pay all the bills and shit. So it's
Right.
not coming out of our personal account. We just
Right.
put the money in there, set shit on
Well,
autopilot.
before you move on, I
and
wanted
we
to-
good.
I wasn't gonna move
Oh,
on
okay.
yet, but go ahead.
But I did want to touch on the topic real quick. Like, what else does a marriage bring that it can't bring? From my experience, it brings security. Like,
That was my response.
you get what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like,
Yes, ain't going nowhere.
you get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Which can backfire. So no, I'm just joking. But
Yeah, no, I can't.
But like when you get married, it's like you showing everybody, you telling everybody, this is my person. We each other person.
That's
And
beautiful.
everybody
You get what
love
I'm
you
saying?
more.
Juice. That was
I like
that.
that.
Was so beautiful.
But I don't think so.
The
Right.
women, the
I
women
feel like
love you more for that.
nowadays nothing is secure. Like
I
feel
like
It-
what he said.
I did.
though.
I
it was
love what
really
you
nice.
said.
It
What
was
he
nice
said
and
is
sweet.
beautiful.
But
Nothing secure. I mean,
People-
that's life. Nothing secure. Yeah,
Agreed.
you can undo everything.
That's why you
But
didn't have.
exactly. And but that's what I'm saying though. Just making that, just getting married is just like really showing. We saying what else is it giving besides, we ain't including spirituality. But when I got married, it's just like I felt like no,
It's
we really a
mine.
unit. We a unit. Like I had a kid first and then got married, but that kid just really wake you up and like, okay,
I kind of want
things
to talk
are
about
important.
that a little bit too. though.
This is way more important than this. Like,
it almost.
It shows women that you can commit, and then they
I've
let me stop.
then they act the fool.
kind of switching gears just a little bit. We're gonna take just a little turn, but I've kind of seen a lot of men that when the woman does get pregnant, that kind of, I don't want to say forces the hand, but I'm not saying that I'm like correct, but I'm just saying that this is what I've seen. When women get pregnant, it does like change something and have the man move a little bit faster and say, "Hey,
Absolutely.
let me put a ring on it.
Absolutely.
Let me make
Well,
this official."
For me, it did. For me,
But
personally,
I know men personally that have done that. I'm so
I ain't wanna
okay.
pay no
So
child support.
okay, that's fair, I guess, if that's what it is. But
No, I'm not saying that.
let's talk about both ways.
When you say some bullshit and everybody else just let it stew, like
I'm not. All men not like that. I know, real.
I want to talk
Real talk.
about both of y'all perspectives on that though, because I seen Punk over here shaking his head like.
Real talk.
But
There
then,
are-
Deuce, you said something different. So
There are men who get married after having a kid because they don't want to pay child support, so they feel like I might as well marry you. I'm gonna be paying
That's so
anyway.
sad.
it's cheaper to keep her.
I know it's
Is that
happened
what
for
that
a fact.
is?
I mean, I can see it happening.
However, for me, I never felt like because we got kids, I gotta get married.
Did you
I don't
have
wanna-
you had your
I had
first
kids.
kid before? How many
Two of
kids
them.
did you have before you got? Okay.
Ooh, you gotta
Yeah,
think.
two
You
of 'em.
gotta think.
I can't remember if Alex came before.
You got a
or after. It
gang
was
up
after,
over
though.
there. Shout out to the gang.
It was
Ford
Shout out to the
it
Ford
was two of
gang.
them before, and I guess again because of the way I was raised, my mother never told me that. Like, a lot of women be like, if she was good enough to sleep with, she good enough to marry, and my mother wasn't like that. She was like, all you owe is your kid to take care of it. You ain't gotta marry somebody because you had kids with them. So I always felt that way. I want to marry you because I want to be with you, not because we got kids, because the shit ain't gonna really survive anyway if all we surviving off of is the fact that we got kids. So to me, the relationship of me and my wife was more important than the kid aspect, and it still is. That was like I tell her that all the time. The kids gonna move one day. They gonna leave.
Yeah.
We gotta be
That's
solid
true.
regardless, because if all we focused on and worried about is the kids, our shit ain't gonna last long when they gone. So we was here before them. We gotta be here after them, or it ain't gonna be shit. So for
That's
me,
true.
the marriage part the kids didn't make the marriage. Like, it didn't make me want to get married sooner.
Okay, Deuce, what you got? What spruced it up for you?
Well, see, like with my kid, everything was complicated with the, labor and everything.
Yeah.
She was premature. So with us going through that showed me the type of man I could be. I wasn't married because I wasn't sure how committed, how strong, I wasn't sure
About yourself?
about myself.
Oh, say that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But when I went through that with my child, just, at the hospital every day, still in school, everything still going, that just inspired me to know, like,
You got it.
I got
you
it.
can do this. Yeah.
And I owe this to my woman.
Mm-hmm.
She dealing with a lot of shit.
Because she
That's dope.
dealing with so much. I owe this to
love
her.
that.
You get what I'm saying? I
Yes.
owe this to her. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's, from not my perspective, it's like, no, I'm showing the world that we a unit.
Yeah.
We in this together. And society really downplays relationships, when y'all ain't married.
And see, I felt
No
like
matter
that.
how long
Wait,
y'all been
really
together.
quick,
You know what I'm
so-
saying?
I felt like that, except about myself. I felt like you dealt with me and the way I am or have been,
Yes, Lord.
and stuck through it. So
Speak
Yeah,
the
you know,
truth.
Yeah.
I can say
Yeah, that too.
I want to give you that for that reason.
Yeah.
Wait, you. Wait, what?
I
See?
want to. I'm good with marrying you. I want to marry you
Because she dealt with you,
You dealt
so you're
with-
blessing
Stuck it
her
out.
with more of you.
Yes, the better parts of me. Yes, if you gonna go through the bad parts and the
Let me
younger
show you
me,
something different.
why wouldn't I want to give you the better parts
you
of
ain't
me
say
when
all
I'm
of that
more
at first,
seasoned
but
and I
okay.
kind of know what the fuck I'm
now,
doing?
now
Why
you got
would
a
I give
little
that to somebody
seasoning
else?
over here.
Yeah.
So
You see my
now
little
that
few
I'm
gray hairs?
seasoned, baby, you can get the better part of me. Okay,
Yes,
cool.
absolutely.
And to Shay's part, yes, everything can fall apart, but we can only live in this
I
moment.
wanted to say
I
something to
agree.
you, Deuce,
No. Go
really
ahead.
quickly, just about what you said, just to give you some kudos because
Oh, thank you. I'll take
you
it.
know a lot of for me too. Like I'm the
Way
one.
to throw
Like
yourself in there.
I mentioned how I see a lot of men that have the kid and then get married. I didn't know why. I just know that that's what I saw was happening.
Right.
But for you to explain it and say that this is your story, this is your reasoning, it kind of gives more of an inside look as into maybe that's other people's stories too. Maybe they have similar stories because when you explained what you said, you were saying that you didn't really know what you were or who you were until those moments start happening within your life, and you watched and then you saw what you were capable of, doing and who you were capable of being. So that gave you the push to say, you know what, I can do this. Yeah, basically. Yeah. And I think that's great. Like, kudos to you for doing that and sharing that too. Because
we keep it real on the booth.
Always, but you can look at that though too, and just know, like, you know what I'm saying. Whatever it is that maybe whatever we preconceive or whatever about someone, it may not be the truth. You never know what somebody's story is. So don't judge a book by its cover or whatever. You know. I appreciate you sharing that.
Oh, no problem.
Punk be over here just.
I didn't even.
He hates to see me glow.
I love to see you glow.
And Punk, I didn't think about it from that aspect that dudes just don't want to pay child support.
Nah,
I didn't know that's what it was.
I never heard that.
I didn't think about it
where
either, that comment was made.
You said I know somebody like that.
We know somebody that felt like I'm not paying child support, so if the next person I get pregnant,
but
I'm
does that always have to be the way though? Because if you have, which I know this is probably not always the way.
I ain't gonna say your name.
Please don't say his name.
But if you are able to have like a decent relationship with the person that you decide to have a kid with, and y'all can actually like come to terms or an agreement, so y'all ain't even gotta go through that. Like, I'm gonna take care of my kid. I ain't gonna be with you. Mm-hmm. We ain't gonna be together, but I'm gonna make sure that I'm there and he got or she got everything that they need. That's a possible thing too. But it just depends on the individual you decide to get that pipe to, or
have a child with.
You gotta make sure that you're making some good choices around here.
Everybody the chunky meat.
Do not title this chunky meat.
This is chunky meat. Stop into this next topic.
Man, so shout out to our TikTok followers that be commenting and shit.
Y'all, wow. We ain't gonna shout out all y'all.
I don't be reading none of them. I find out from y'all.
We gonna shout out all y'all for following, for commenting.
We
need some female opinions in our more female opinions in our comments.
Yeah.
Like,
shout out to having another female here yesterday and today though, because cocaine just be having to deal with these men, these egos, these big, large personalities, this here energy, you know what I'm saying? And shout out to Shay for bringing her presence here today, you guys. Yes.
So you needed help. You could have just said that.
Boy. Y'all see how I do. I'm good on my own, but I appreciate, and I ain't too prideful to say that another woman being here ain't so bad. Cause Montana ain't in the building, so hey.
I love it.
Montana be against me too, though.
She
be like a dude. Like,
she do.
I want all the
I be like, whose side you on here? You ain't on my side. Be with me. Let's not discuss truth, because there's no truth. Truth is your false reality. Anyways, get into what yours. I said what I said.
I appreciate that, but I'm not gonna lie. I think like a man a lot too. So today I agree, but it's a few of you guys things that you posted that I did not agree.
No, and you shouldn't though.
Right, and it's just because that's my opinion. I understand.
Yeah,
but I just want to let you know I do think like a man sometimes.
That's okay. That's okay. I think women have that trait. We are one man. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little bit of that everywhere, just because it may not be expressed all the time, depending on what we're talking about. It just is what it is. That's it.
Agreed.
Oh, thanks, girl, for agreeing again. I'm just kidding.
I agree to that.
Soak it up.
She gonna take it off. Take it off.
But no, shout out to y'all TikTok followers that be commenting. One of y'all commented.
Get us to 1,000 followers,
man, so we could post this shit on YouTube. Y'all could get the whole video on YouTube once we hit 1,000 followers. So go ahead, hit that follow button. One of our followers, she commented, I don't really know, I guess the name is, that's Thyesus.
We'll tag you.
Yeah. And she's commented a couple times because I responded to her. She done made a video responding.
Oh, really?
I'm like, wow. Yeah.
Let's
So,
go.
she said, we were talking about is sex equal between men and women. And she commented, it's not about those things being equal. It's about what's valued / desired most by each gender. Men desire sex most. Women desire money most. And if men want to be able to ask for what they want without judgment, women should be able to also. My question to that was, how do you want to be valued based on your mental, emotional, and spiritual being when what you value is money? So to address the first part, do we think men desire sex most and women desire money most?
Go ahead. I'll let you start.
I'm gonna go with no. I don't agree with that being like.
Yeah, give it to us.
I think that.
What if you don't see either way?
You said what?
What if we don't see either way? Like, because I mean, I don't desire money, and I don't desire sex the most either. Like, to me,
You just want it all.
I mean, yeah.
I
I think we all should want it all. I mean, at the end of the
It's
day,
nothing that you desire most, though. Lust,
over those
beauty,
No, so
No, just
companionship.
between those
talking
two.
about these two, though.
We're talking about those two. I'm like, I didn't agree
I
that
can't choose
men
either.
desire sex more.
Can we
and
pick-
I'm not a man, so I don't know. But
What do
I,
you
as
desire
a
more,
woman,
sex or money? Can we keep it there then, so we can? What out of those two? What's desired more, sex or money?
it's getting spicy.
it really is. It really is. And this is from the opposite sex, correct? Or
This is
'Cause
just
that's
your
what I
opinion.
This is what
this is from a
Just
from a
from
woman's
your
perspective. Do you desire money
her
more
trying to
than
pass the
sex?
buck.
I got to think of. I know
No,
my
not you,
answer,
girl.
but
Woman's
go ahead and answer.
but you know, it's not money. It's not money.
And she said it because I was avoiding saying it because I
It's
didn't
not
want to
money.
say it.
But I also want to, and I don't want to move ahead, but I also want to get into the other statement that was made about not having a spiritual connection with someone, because during that statement, when we were
Wait, pause. We gonna get to
Oh,
that.
okay.
Yeah, she tried to share.
Okay, that's what I was saying, because I did want to address it. I did
The
want to
queen
address
is
it.
back. She tried.
But if I had to
to
choose between the two, because clearly I have to choose between the
Yes,
two.
you do.
It's not money, you know. Money is tangible, but sex is something that is more than just, to me, like an act of physical like contact.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
it ain't just because you can go and have sex with anyone. So if it really has no purpose behind
money.
it, then yeah. But when it's something that you can already, money ain't it.
Okay.
Just put it like that. Sex is way more than just that. Than just, like, I think I said this like maybe on the first pod. It's more than just the in and out. It is. It should be something that's shared between two people that actually feel something more than just the peak of that time.
So you desire sex more than money?
Sure.
Okay. Punk?
I definitely desire sex more than money, and I'm gonna make money.
I'm sorry, guys. That's my
So the
Telling the secrets. Cocaine over there telling the secrets.
money is like, I'm gonna get that on my own.
right.
Me
That's
with
what I'm
you, what do
saying.
I need from you? I need sex, you know?
Shay?
I'm gonna agree. It's sex. I think most people desire sex the most. Like, I make a decent amount of money.
But
Like,
if you don't make no money,
that's a whole other time. But shut up.
No, and
I thought
see,
you was about to say something.
that's the mindset that I think these women are coming from, that they want to be taken care of, or they want the man to finance them. So they're desiring money. I feel like it sets a bad whatever, because then men are just like, if I got bread, you gonna do the
If
sex
I got
part.
it, then you gonna give me
And
what
it's-
I
and
naturally want. So that
honestly,
means
but
that
you said
saying
women.
most men desire sex.
But you
Yes.
saying women, right? Punk. Honestly, I feel like that came from somewhere, right? Women
Absolutely.
started to want the money because it was always offered. And I think that's a part of the issue. Like it's like you go on a few dates and you don't give it up. The first thing I'll say is like, "Oh, I'll buy you this, or I'll give you this," like just to get it. So I think that's why a lot of women feel like money overpowers the sex.
And a lot of times dudes
like
be
I've
feeling
never
like
felt
if
like
they've
that,
done
but if I wanted to, I could get money.
facts.
You know what I
Same.
mean? It's
Yeah.
like it's not something I want, but I've been offered money.
if
in
you
exchange
wanted
for
to
it.
be that woman that's out here and that get her bills paid,
Yeah.
her car note, like all of that,
You
the
could do
the
it.
bigger things, you could definitely do. You can find a
And
dude
then you
out
add
here
a
that'll
nice
be
face.
Sound like
and
a
a-
traditional relationship to me.
does it now?
I mean, ain't that how it was back in the day? Man went to work.
No,
paid all the
because
bills.
we're talking about like when we
I'm just asking
the last
questions.
time I was here and we were talking and I was talking about dudes being finessed. There are women out here that are finessing dudes. Like literally. There are women out here that are having dudes pay for their entire lifestyle.
Yeah,
And
some goofies.
that's what Shay is talking about. Like if she wanted to be that type of woman, she could be that type of woman. But she got her own bag, so that's not the desire for her. Like, I don't need your bread. I'm good.
But I think that's why a lot of women do it, because they know they can get away with
And that's
it.
probably why they value money more, because they know that this is an easy game for them. And they don't value sex, so that's why it's probably no big deal to them. They don't.
Yeah,
They don't
'cause
think
they-
sex is anything
Because they feel like every time they having sex, they're getting paid. So that's what they looking
That
for.
fair
It's like, oh,
exchange or
it's a
something.
fair exchange.
So with that being said, that's why I asked the question to her. How do you want to be valued based on your mental, emotional, and spiritual being when what you value is money?
But maybe
but
she
does
didn't want to be valued.
Exactly.
But-
Because of
It could be,
based
like
off
we
of
said,
her
the
response.
But I'm asking that question because she
And
said
what did she
women
say?
desire money
But she can't
most.
speak for all women. That's
Absolutely,
the problem.
nothing
right?
is absolute. But if we're generalizing, when she says to respond to her, women value money most, how do you expect a man to come to you any other way and value you any other way if now you're implanting it in him that you value money? So why do I really put anything into the rest of that if you value money and I could just come with the money?
So did she respond to that?
No.
That's I was about to ask that too, because to me it's like she don't want the other aspects.
Yeah.
The only thing she is looking for is the bag. Like she's looking to be taken care of, and she knows if she gives him this is what she's gonna get. So
I mean, don't
the
get me
spiritual-
wrong. Go ahead.
No, you
No, sorry. Go ahead.
None of that other stuff even matters to her.
So does that mess it up for other women?
It does.
Because you're,
It really
I
does.
mean, you're really programming men a
Because
certain way.
for women like myself, like right now single and looking and out here dating, like this is the type of thing you get. Like, so when you going on a few dates, they are offering you money, and it's like that's a turn off to me. So it may be to the next girl like, oh, this is what I want. While I'm looking at you like you just trying to purchase me, you just want to buy me. That's not what we want. We want somebody who wants a relationship. We want somebody that's gonna support us. And if that's all you bring to the table for me, that is like her personality or whatever she's asking for is changing what these men feel like they have to bring to the table.
And they don't
Is
come
it
with
changing it?
They don't come with nothing else.
Because
I
it
don't
is
know.
a lot of women that feel like she does.
And I mean, we hear it in the music, like
Oh, who you talking
the part
about?
that
You
is-
just walked right back into the
Right,
conversation trying to act
start
like you didn't know what the hell was going on.
asked-
You thought
I
you knew what
asked,
was
is
going
that,
on.
is
tried,
that
he
messing
tried.
it up for women who want to be valued for the spiritual, emotional, who want that connection, but you got men now like, baby, I pay for it. Because you have women like her saying women value money most. Then you hear it in the music. You see it on social media
see it on
where
TV.
all they
It's
talk
everywhere.
about is being paid for. Take care of me in this, buy me this bag, pay for me to get my toes done, hair done. Like if
No,
that's
we ain't saying we ain't want all that though. Don't push
saying.
it. Don't.
but if I value
She like, that's basic shit.
if I value the
things.
other
It's the
things,
little
if I
things.
value the other things, I'm gonna do that anyway.
Agreed.
But if
Agreed.
you coming to me and it's just about the money, I don't want to spend no money on you because I'm not into that. But I'm saying, you know,
We
when that's
know.
what we see, I'm glad y'all did. Let me repeat it for the 15th time. No, but I'm just saying that when you see it so much, and then like you said, being single and you got guys coming to you like, I'll pay for it.
It's a
Because
turn-off.
it's women putting it out here.
Yeah.
So that's like, shit. They feeling like
They feel
okay,
like
I
every
could just
woman
that.
gonna do it, right?
Exactly.
They feel like every woman is out here doing it. So it makes it hard to date. It does.
I've never.
$600.
I haven't. That wasn't.
I heard that one. I heard that.
But that wasn't a guy that I was dating, though.
know.
You know
Yeah,
what
we
I'm
know.
saying?
He just tried to
And
trigger
it
you.
wasn't.
He
It
just
was just.
triggering
It was just a conversation that he and I were having. And I mean, if that's his thing and that's what he do, and if that's what he felt like he would spend on me, like that's perfectly fine.
So you don't got a
Again,
number?
I don't need your money though.
So
you
you
know
don't
what I'm
have a
saying?
number?
I'm not in it for your money.
So you don't
That's
got a
that's
number?
what it is. Can I finish what I'm saying?
So you don't have a number?
Relax. Anyways,
She
you
got a
making me
number.
forget what I'm saying. There is no number because I'm my own number. You know what I'm saying? Like I can financially provide for myself, and I have been able to for a very long time. So if I'm dating somebody, it ain't for your bread. And I've met dudes with money that act like that's the case. You know what I'm saying? And that ain't it for me. I'm not turned on. I'm not piped up or nothing by your bag.
I agree.
Like she said, it turns her off. It turns me off too because that's what you think that I'm supposed to be attracted to. I don't like loud dudes. You know, if you gotta show me all this stuff that you got, that don't excite me at all. What Punk was just trying
But
to
what
say.
attracted you to that certain guy?
That was just somebody that I worked with. We were having a conversation.
I'm speaking in general.
What attracts me to a guy?
Yeah, if
Oh, I thought
It
you
ain't
said
the
that
money.
guy.
that certain type of guy that did that, you know, the guy that offered you money, what attracted you to him?
Originally, I have nothing to go off of but how he looked in the beginning.
Okay.
Right?
I was gonna say the physical usually.
It's basic
look like
physical
money.
aspect.
no. The person who did it, that like offered it
Let me
to
stop
me.
That's
stirring
what I'm saying. Though
Yeah,
when I
you are
said I
definitely
don't
on
like
that.
loud dudes,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. When I say I don't like loud dudes, like, what if you enjoy wearing name brand stuff? That's cool because that's your thing. That's what you do. No problem, right? But I'm an observer, like, so I'm gonna watch you a few times and I'm gonna see how you move, how you interact with people. I'm really low key. I don't want a dude that needs to be out in the spotlight or need to be seen and like, you know, this is what it is or flashy. I don't
Right.
like that type of stuff.
Right.
So if this was somebody that I was attracted to, then he had to be low key. And then later on, he had to be fine for me because apparently he was fine. I talked to him.
Right.
Not
You
saying
wasn't just talking
everybody
to him
gotta be
because of
fine,
His mental.
but I didn't
She
know
didn't know his
him
mental yet.
at that time.
Who knows somebody mental going into
But
a first date?
when you
My argument on-
when you start getting to know someone and you start like actually having a conversation with them, you start seeing other things. Like you start really seeing what they into, and then you decide, you know, is this something that I want to do? Is this somebody that I want to?
But
talk
money
to and
is
move on?
necessary for you.
I'm not
right?
saying it's not.
Huh?
I'm not saying it's not.
Right, but
I'm saying
it
that
is
that's not
necessary.
the most important thing that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But you said something different yesterday.
what did I say?
you was like, was it yesterday? You was like, no, it wasn't yesterday.
Oh.
But he was like, you was like, that's like saying he got all these other trades, but money.
He ain't got it.
Yeah.
I don't want to be with somebody that
She
don't have no
want a broke
bread.
nigga.
And that's
No,
what
I
just
don't.
and that's what I just said.
But I said that that's not the most important thing. I don't want y'all to twist my words. So we were talking about what's most
No
important.
twister.
Sex or money?
We just
money,
listening and reviewing.
money ain't y'all. No, y'all.
'Cause we
I
listen.
already
you know,
know.
dudes got the receipts. You better stop playing.
Let's do it.
I got the receipts.
I've
'cause
never
we
been
done
the
had
type
on a
of
couple
woman
times.
that like, oh, let me get a nigga like a dude
No,
for
we're
some
not
money.
saying that.
We ain't
but
saying
you
that.
was just saying that money is a must. If
It
that's
is.
that's
I'm not
and
saying
that's all
that
I
though. But we're talking about the conversation that we're having is what's most important.
And
right?
what I'm trying to get into is if money is a must, right?
How is it not most important?
And how do guys with money act?
I don't know. Because
Like they
dudes
know
with no
it's-
money could act the same way. So
To me,
Rarely.
it's not about the money. Like, it's the arrogance. Like, okay, so
But
I
with-
want a man that's confident.
Okay.
But arrogant is a turn.
That's a thin line.
No, like
Yes.
somebody who throws things in your face and like everybody else is beneath them. That's arrogant.
yeah.
I guess I'm
It's
only
a
saying that
difference.
because I've been called arrogant before, and I don't think it's nothing about me that's arrogant.
then you shouldn't
But-
even comment on it though, because you know that ain't true.
But what I'm saying is, that's why I'm saying I feel like either it's a thin line or people perceive it how they want to, because the same way I don't think y'all think I'm arrogant, right? People who know me don't think I'm arrogant. But some people who will come around, and because I'm confident or knowing
Bougie.
in my opinion,
Bad and bougie.
whatever.
He
But
bad
because
and bougie, y'all.
But
because
that's
if I know what I'm
somebody's
talking
perception,
about
right?
and I say it and I say it firmly, and I'm not gonna cower away from what I said because this is what I said.
But we all been perceived differently. Like Cocaine just said bougie. Like I've been heard called bougie or stuck up. But all my friends know that's not me. But that's because people have got
don't
to
know
know me. Shut up.
And
I
I
am
get
not-
called that
I
all
must
the time.
admit, I
Right.
felt like
You know
she
what I
was
mean?
stuck up growing up.
Right.
We had that conversation.
But was
but
I? No.
Yes,
It's
growing
because
up.
they look at
wasn't
you
there.
and they see or they
I don't know.
That's how I felt anyway. It probably
I
wasn't,
had
but
a
that's how I
friend
felt.
who's not a really good friend that did me like that. Like somebody had told her some stuff about me, and she took what they said and ran with it until her and I actually had like this little time together. We worked together and it was cool. And she apologized to me. And she still apologizes to me today because she was like, you know, I'm sorry because I judged you based off of what
somebody
other
else's
people
opinion.
said. And then just seeing you, you know, you just looked real stuck up. Like you ain't want nobody to talk to you. And her and I are like the best of friends. Shout out to you, shorty.
So,
Fat
so
head
to
ass.
answer the
But
question,
yeah, like
how do y'all think a man with money act?
I
'Cause that was
and
the
I
question.
said what I said. Like I don't know because dudes with no money act like they got money. I've seen it happen, so I really don't know. Don't know.
I just say arrogant. Sometimes arrogant, over the top, needs to be seen, center of attention. That's the only thing I can think of.
Do you feel like certain things are expected from you if a dude got a lot of money?
In
Like,
his mind,
Shit, that's a deep
certain
one.
things like what? Certain things are expected from a woman if the dude has money.
If I'm dating you
Yeah, and,
and
you
I got
money.
bread,
Yeah.
I'm expecting certain stuff from you.
I think they do. I think they expect sex, of course. They expect all your time.
Regardless.
You like I expect sex.
He expects it if
I think all
he
men
ain't got
expect
no
sex.
money.
But I'm saying the ones who have money just feel like you're
They
supposed to
expecting it ASAP.
be right. Like
How they want it?
I just took you on this $300
yeah,
date.
how they want it. They want to convince you of the stuff that they into. So yeah.
I like it nasty, nasty. What about you, Cocaine?
What was the question?
Now you gonna make me remember, goddammit. No,
Do
are
you
there
think men
certain?
require certain things because they have money?
Yes.
Probably.
There we go. That was it.
Probably so, yeah. Why not? Men with money feel like they have power and control. So, yeah. I don't know what
And y'all
type of
want men with
thing-
money, right?
Huh?
What?
And y'all want men with money, right?
I don't have to have a man with money.
Okay.
Like, I mean, he has to bring something to the table. You know, it can't
Is
be.
that financial?
It can't be all my chairs to the table.
Wait, okay, so let me ask
What's
this.
at the
so
table?
what's at the
'Cause
table?
there's a
What
lot
does
of
he have
shit
to
he
bring
could
to the
bring
table?
besides money.
If your man doesn't have any money, right? You're
She ain't
dating a
fucking with
man. You dating a man that don't have
Does
no
that
money.
mean like he's working and doesn't have a lot of money, or does
Nah, he
that
ain't got
mean
no
he has
bread.
no
No,
job?
he could be.
Wait,
No,
let
he's
me
working.
explain. Okay,
He's
so
working.
as long as a person is put forth effort, that's fine with me. Like honestly, I'm not gonna lie. It's the ones that don't shut up, y'all. The ones that don't put forth an effort at all.
Does it matter where he's working at? Cause
He
Because
can't
I
be a
can't be the
street guy.
manager at McDonald's.
What if
They
he's
already
working at
know that.
McDonald's?
Can he be the McManager?
Honestly, I know a girl from high school who was the manager at McDonald's, and she was making pretty decent dough.
Yeah.
I'm
It
like,
ain't
yes.
about-
So
it ain't about the
your
money.
response is yes.
Yeah,
He could be a
the
McManager.
I want to
He could be a
know.
McManager.
I want
Type of
to
job.
know. What if he ain't got no job? What needs
Who
to
want to be
no,
with them?
No.
I feel like
No,
that's
so
just
no.
You
such
have
an
to
outlier.
do something. Like, I can't be the only person getting up every day, going to work, or doing something.
What if you was a
can't sit
a houseman though? You know, he's taking care of the baby.
And that's why I'm asking, because
You
what
know,
if he
he's
does
doing
all
the
the other
things
stuff on the
that-
table but the financial?
Yeah.
He cooking, he cleaning, he taking the kids to school, to
He's helping
doctor's
them with
appointments.
homework.
She ain't going.
You know,
Nah,
he's,
I
don't know.
he's doing
She
all of
ain't
that.
going.
I mean,
for
I
that.
could use the help on that in that aspect, but I don't know.
That's a no.
Yeah,
That
it's
is
probably
it.
a-
I don't.
It's probably
alright.
a no. It's probably a no.
I
That's alright.
don't.
They ain't gonna
No.
get you.
It
They ain't
ain't
gonna get you.
happening.
No, because I mean that goes back. Like, somebody asked me before, would I be a housewife or like just a stay-at-home mom? That ain't me. Like, I have to be the person that is getting up. It ain't a job, but maybe it's a hobby or an outlet. But so if I feel like that, I think I would look at him different. Like, I just feel like you wouldn't make an effort. Like, you wasn't trying to do nothing. And I don't know. That would probably make me not want to be with him. So it's a no.
So taking care of the house is doing nothing.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. It's
That's how it
what-
just came
for
off.
me.
That's what it sounded
I guess
like.
for me, yeah, that's doing nothing. Like,
Okay.
because
To a man, that's doing nothing.
and when I was younger, like, if I dated somebody and every time I came home and you in the
Dude
house
speaking for
playing a
herself.
video game, I can't go. Sorry. Like, it's a house full of guys. No, they all gotta go. Y'all all gotta go.
If he a house husband, ain't no house full of guys. If you
Sometimes.
taking care of the kids,
I don't know. I know I said that I wouldn't mind like a house husband. Like if I had kids and I was going out, because I know for me personally, I'm not a sit down person. I'm always moving around consistently. So that's just not my life. Like that's not who I am at all. So I wouldn't be comfortable doing that. But if my husband, you know, if that was his thing and he was taking care of the kids and he was running the errands and he was going to the grocery store he was doing everything,
Doctor's
getting the
appointments.
kids, doctor's appointments, you know, and maybe I can make it sometimes. The role reversal thing, right? If that's what he did and he took that part and I didn't have to worry about that and I was bringing home the money, I was going home, I was going to work, boom, babe, we got money, there's food on the table, I wouldn't mind that. But I had to like really sit down and think about that to see, like, really understand if I would be okay with it. And I would be okay with it. If he's okay with it and that's how we rocking, then that's how we rolling. Because that's a lot of weight, though. Because you have moms that
like
do
I said
a lot,
like
and
I said
kids
last pod.
I don't have children, but
think
I
taking
know
care of
kids
the
are
house
a
and
lot.
the kids is harder than going to work, in my opinion.
It's a lot because you have to be actively
Yeah, it is.
involved.
Because
like,
they
all
all
the time.
day non-stop.
I get my nieces and nephews,
work, I
and I
could
run
dip
out of
off
things
on-
for them
No,
to
let me
do.
cut it.
Like they get so bored, and then they want to eat all the time, and I'm like,
Ain't no dipping off at home with these
It's
kids.
not. That's why I say I know I could. The few hours that I am at home, my 7-year-old drives me crazy. So, and kudos to her dad because he definitely steps it up as like a co-parent.
Hey.
Like
Out.
I
That's
don't.
dope.
Yeah, my
Positive
child's father is excellent when it comes to
relationships.
co-parenting.
Yes.
Like we not in a relationship, but he's an excellent father.
Well, y'all co-parents, so that's a
Yeah,
different type of
excellent,
relationship.
Excellent.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's a
Made it
lot.
clear.
Of
Yeah, I didn't mean that type of.
No,
I
you-
meant
yeah,
co-parents.
yeah.
But-
Single mother, not a single mother. That's dope.
Single.
You said what?
I'm a mother, and I'm
Oh,
single.
that was a topic. That was one of your
Y'all,
topics.
men, it was one of
You're
our
a
topics.
single
Men love
woman.
to have this definition of what a single mother is. My child father get so mad when I say that.
Okay, let's.
I am a mother.
Hold on. Can we
and I'm
intro this
single.
topic?
But you're not a single mother.
Can we intro this topic?
I have a co-parent.
So then that's not single.
Okay. Can you?
There's some
You're a
type of way
single
that y'all
woman.
you have
Say-
to
Not a
define
single
it, I
mother.
guess.
Say it.
Like,
Okay, so it has been the thing. It's a difference between being a single woman which you are,
Okay.
and a single mother if you have the parents.
So you think
the
a single
co-parent
mother
there.
is just a
The
the one
daddy
that-
ain't
the
there
daddy ain't
doing
in your
shit,
life at
so
all.
you're a single mom. If you have help,
I give you
you're
that
not a
pass. I give you
single
that
mother.
pass.
You're a single woman.
I just feel like if you're a mother and you're single, you're a single mother.
So you
So
okay
when you
with him
start,
saying he
when
a
you
single
when
father?
you date Shay, let me
Hold
ask
on,
you
no,
this.
can he say that? Can he say he's a single father?
No.
Can he post
Well,
that on
I guess
social
when you put
media?
it like that, no, he can't
oh,
put it.
yeah.
He can never say that, right?
Uh-huh.
Cause people
see
gonna
how
be looking
fucked
at
up
him
that
like
is?
single father. What
right.
the?
I had asked one of my guy friends.
Yeah. Now it sound like you don't do shit.
I had
He a
asked one of my
single
guy
father.
friends, did he consider himself?
Say
like,
that again.
I was asking one of my guy friends, like, just based off of the topic, like, did he consider himself like a single father? And he instantly like responded like, no, not at all, because he is single.
Uh-huh.
And he's not with his ex-wife, you know, and they co-parent. But he was like, no, not at all. And I just was wondering what he was gonna say. We ain't had no more conversation after that.
Okay.
He just made it very clear, and I'm like,
Because he
that's
had
good.
a co-parent.
Yeah.
He's
Cause
not
he know
doing
what it
by
is. He
himself.
know,
Right.
yeah, he know that he not.
Right.
That makes
Now,
sense.
if he had the kid and was doing everything, then he would be a single,
Single
father.
father.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
I don't get why that would be difficult to understand.
Differentiate.
Though. Yeah.
Only because you see so many women. Like in her case, she was saying she's single and a mother, so she's
But
a
I
single
think she
mother.
was trying to define her individuality.
Can I even
Exactly,
finish-
'cause I
with
can I finish
having
my
a child too.
Can I
all the
finish
time.
my
That's all.
statement?
Okay, go ahead.
Dang.
My bad,
It's
go
hot
ahead.
in the
But it's
booth
a-
today,
It is.
baby.
It's
a-
it's cold at
Hey,
first.
I told you it heat up real quick.
It's a lot of women who where you see that I'm a single mom thing, but they're not because they have help from the father. So it's not okay to keep saying I'm a single mother because that gives the impression to the outside world
That you're doing it
that
alone.
you're doing it alone.
Yeah.
That's not okay. So then that man not getting his respect that he actually deserved, and then it adds to the narrative of men being deadbeats because you said you're a single mother. They're gonna assume your child's father is a deadbeat and don't take care of his child.
Yeah, that is
So
the
it's
See, but
automatic
I
assumption.
never
It's
thought of it that
completely
way
different.
because I'm thinking like as a single mother, a mother that's just single. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not naive, and I do know it is some single mothers just completely out here doing it
Right.
by themselves.
Right.
But I
Absolutely.
don't. My narrative is completely different because I give him kudos or whatever, and I
Because
know
you're
he
not
doing.
a single mother.
It's
You're a
just the
single
way
woman.
that
You just want me
she-
to say that.
Yes,
I'm a
because
single
that is
woman.
facts.
I'm a
It's
single
just the way
woman.
Thank
that
you.
she
That is
defines
the
it.
facts.
She just
Oh,
defines it
He gonna get you. He gonna get
Those
you. He ain't
are
gonna
the
let
She
you
facts.
get
just
out of
has
here
to
without
define
getting
it
you.
differently. That's all.
Christ.
You know, you gotta
You
make
got
it
me.
real specific for this one.
I
over here,
see.
'cause,
Yes,
girl.
because those definitions matter.
All right, let's get into the next.
Don't be trying to shoot
Yeah,
me
move
away.
on. Let's
Yeah,
move
I
on.
this
know.
one
I
is
just
dead.
feel like we kind of, we did what we
Nah,
did with
yeah,
this one.
yeah, yeah. But